Welcome to Diamond.Standard.Gaming. Today we're going to go ahead and do another upgrade to our prison. So this time around we're going to go ahead and we're going to upgrade our control room that we built in our last video. So you can see now there's a lot of dirt, a lot of cobblestone, a lot of stone for the walls. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to replace that with something that looks real nice and modern and sleek. So right here I'm showing you the command for the command blocks. Now I'm not going to talk about the commands again in this video. You'll have to watch the previous video if you want to learn how to set those command blocks up. But what I'm doing here is I'm starting by essentially breaking all of the command blocks that I had in the current control room, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to expand it down to the front of the prison. So this is kind of what we have right now. What I'm doing is I'm going to dig it down 2 deeper, and that's going to enable me to use light blocks and glass blocks, and I'm going to put like recessed lighting in the ceiling and in the walls in some places. So you see that in a little bit right here. So yeah, what I'm basically doing is I'm going to dig down 2 and I'm going to expand it, to the front of the prison, but I'm not going to show you all that. So here we are with a large portion of that expansion already done, and what I decided to go with was white concrete block for the walls. You can see in some places I actually kind of ran out of space, such as right there you can see the outside light. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to fill it with a standard stone block that I had in there, just so it doesn't look different from the outside. If there's anything that you do want to see me build or add to this prison build or to any of our other builds, or if you have any other build ideas, please definitely let me know in the comments. We're taking ideas, and we do try to get about 2 videos out per week. It's been a challenge, but that's what we're aiming towards still to this day. And then every so often I do try to get a 3rd video out that's a short. For example, we built an ice cream sundae the other day, so you can always check that video out if you're interested. And then I also go ahead and I throw in white concrete blocks on the ceiling. Here's where I go ahead and fill that with the stone blocks. Here's where I go ahead and fill that with the stone bricks again. And I think I'm going to have to actually go ahead and I believe I extend it a little bit further out towards the front of the prison. So it's not quite big enough at this point in time. If you're working on a build like this and you have a control room for a prison or any other building, feel free to use whatever color blocks you want to use, whether you use concrete or something else. It's your build and you can make it look how you want. And the cool part about Minecraft is you can always go ahead and if you don't like something, you can always break it and start over again. So here's the light block that I was talking about. So it allows you to adjust the brightness from 0 to 15. So I'm just kind of throwing one down here to kind of see, what kind of light it makes. Right now I have some lanterns down, so it's the light that the light block is making is not really showing that much. You'll see in a minute. I'll actually go ahead and break that. And here I'm just playing around. I didn't know if I could put like a light inside of a light block or if the light block had to be above the pane of glass. And it turns out it does have to be above the block of glass. So here I'm building it down 2, like I said, so that I can basically build recessed lighting. I need a depth of 2 because the very top up there against the floor of the prison is where the light block will go, and then on the next one down will be the glass block. And again, I'm throwing lanterns in here for right now, just so that you can see what I'm doing, because without the lanterns right now, it gets pretty dark. Alright, and that kind of finishes the current size of our control room expansion here. And here I'm just kind of looking around, making sure I got everything. And here I go ahead and I throw a light block in there. I set it to 7, and I go ahead and put a block of glass over top of it. And then I quickly go here and break the lantern. And this is the amount of light that you get out of a light block set at number 7, so it's pretty dim. And I go ahead and I turn it up a little bit to see how it looks. I'm doing this because I'm not sure how many lights I'm going to need in the ceiling, so I'm just trying to get an idea of how bright it will actually be. And then right here, I'm just going and I'm putting down these concrete blocks for right now, just as a test. Just imagine those are the control blocks to control the prison doors. I'm just seeing, like, do I have enough room right now? And that's what I said earlier, I don't really have enough room at this point, so I will actually go ahead and extend it a little bit more towards the front of the prison. I actually end up keeping that little alcove in there even when we're all said and done. I think I do end up putting one command block back in that corner. And then I go here and I replace the floor, the stone floor, with the light gray concrete block. And this gives it like a nice, clean look, almost like a lab or something like that. And we still do have a prison escape build in the pipeline. So we are going away, so we're not going to have time to finish the prison build by this Friday, which is the 14th, but I think we will have it done by the 21st. So there I went and I got all the light gray blocks in for the floor of this control room. And then here I'm kind of thinking about, like, how do I want to put the lights in the ceiling? So at first, what I was thinking was that I was going to go ahead and throw a double set of light blocks, right down the entire center of this room. But then you'll see in a minute, it's just too many lights. So what I end up doing is I end up essentially putting a pair of light blocks and then leaving a space, and then another pair, and then a space. And again, here I wasn't sure how light this many light blocks was going to be, so you'll see here in a second I go ahead and I think I adjust them all to a setting of 5 to see how much light they make. I guess I'm actually turning them on 1 first to start, which is very, very dim. Probably dimmer than a candle. You can see it almost didn't make any difference from having that one block on 10 compared to having, I don't know how many I put in there, 10 blocks on one. It made like no difference in light. So then I go ahead here and I set them all to 5. And you can see I keep skipping past 5, so then I got to keep resetting and going, looping all the way around. And the neat thing is, once you deselect the light block from your inventory, the light blocks are invisible, so you don't actually see them. And then we're getting close here to finishing up. Okay, we got 3 more to go. Some of them I put on 6, and I didn't bother looping all the way back around. I said that's close enough. So that's what it looks like right there. You can see all the lights I put in, and that's, you know, basically set on 5. Still a little bit dimmer than I would like, because I'm kind of picturing that this is a control room, so, you know, the prison guards, when they come down, they'll need enough light to be able to see and do their work. So I adjust them up a little bit. Tried those on 7. Here's where I go and say, you know, I don't think I need to have this whole cavity filled with light blocks. So, you know, like I said, every other row I take out and I fill every other row with the concrete blocks. And when it's done, it kind of makes it look like recessed lighting, or more of a, I guess, like the old-fashioned fluorescent lighting that you see in a lot of buildings. And then I go ahead and I turn it up a tiny bit more. And I think in the end, I end up turning it up to 8 brightness, and that's enough lighting. So that's what it looks like right there on 7. So you can see it's pretty good. You can kind of see pretty well right now. You can see this corner back here is kind of dark. And also that alcove is actually a little bit dark. So what I do is I go here and I go ahead and cut in a set of light blocks right here. And I go ahead and set those to 7. Just like that. Now it's a little bit better. I'm just trying to get an idea here as I walk in, coming down the stairs here, coming down the ladder here. Just trying to get an idea of how it looks when I walk into this room. And then here's where I said I go ahead and I actually adjust it up 1 more. So I turn it to 8, and then I think 8 is what I end up leaving them at. You can see as I adjust them up 1, a little bit, tiny bit more light comes out of each one, and I'm pretty happy right here. I'm kind of imagining I don't want this to be super bright, because people are coming down here. They don't need it to be super bright to just go and hit the button or whatever. Just enough light to see to be able to press that button and open the cell doors or open the main prison entrance to let people in or out. And then here I go ahead. I'm using a light blue glass block just to give it a little bit of color. I did try clear at first, and I like the blue glass better. It just gave it a little bit nicer look. So I throw a lantern down here real quick just for some extra light, and then I'm going to cut a light block in right back here, because this corner back here was way too dark coming down the ladder. So I do the same thing that I did pretty much everywhere else in the prison, where I go ahead and I put the white concrete walls up surrounding the little alcove where the light block goes. If there's anything you don't like about this video, please let me know in the comments. I'm always trying to improve, and any tips or hints that you can give me will be greatly appreciated. So there we are. I got that light block in right there. You can see that corner now has light in it. Definitely enough light for someone to come on down the ladder. And then here I go ahead and I just replace this dirt here with the white concrete blocks, and then I go ahead and replace the ladder on top of it. And there it is. That corner is finished. And this is done on Bedrock Edition on Nintendo Switch, just in case anybody out there was wondering. And now here I'm going ahead and I'm adding the control blocks. And again, I'm not going to go through all the commands. You can definitely check out our previous video where we did go and set up all the commands if you want to get a working prison or a working control room for yourself up and running. And remember, we need a set for each door we want to control. One for closing the door, one for opening the door. I do go off camera and I do update all the commands in these command blocks so the prison doors do work again once I'm completely finished with this. And you'll notice I did go ahead and put signs up for each set of command blocks to label which doors they operated. And then I realized here, back in this corner, these two corner command block sets are a little bit dark. I couldn't really read the sign. So I go ahead and I throw in a little light block alcove right here. And there I'm just checking to make sure that I can read all the signs, and it looks good. Okay, and then at this point, I go ahead and I'm adding some furniture. You know, I'm figuring that a guard, or, you know, guards will be down here working. They might need to sit down somewhere, or they might need to, maybe they're tired and they want to take a little nap. They could have a couch here to nap on. Hello, how you doing? You'll see there the couch turned into a row of 3 chairs when I sat down on the middle of the couch. Now I notice when I sit on the end of the couch that doesn't actually happen, but for whatever reason when I sit on the middle, you can see there again it turned into 3 chairs. You can see I have my creeper notebooks there. And there I am again, trying out the couch. You see that time I'm sitting on the edge cushion, and it's not turning the couch into 3 chairs, which is good. And that finishes up our build. That is what our finished modern control room looks like. A lot cleaner, looks a lot more organized than our previous control room. So please let me know what you think in the comments. And again, any tips or hints on how to improve things or how to do things different will be greatly appreciated. And until next time, have a great day.